Welcome to the Forever Cash Life Real Estate Investing Podcast with your hosts, Jack and Michelle Bosch. Together, let's uncover the secrets to building true wealth through real estate and living a purpose-driven life.
Welcome to today's episode of the show. I'm your host, Michelle Bosch. How is everyone doing? As many of you already know, here in the Land Profit Generator community, we have been really having a land palooza all this week, since last week. And if you have been one of the thousands that have registered, that have been with us, thank you so much for joining us and for, doing the work, putting in your life in motion, getting a financial reset on your life. It's only May of 2022. We have a little bit over 6 months to really still make an incredible splash and really reset, your finances, make your life really a life of abundance where you go from zero to being a hero of your family, where you become and you put everything in place to become an inevitable millionaire. And that's kind of like what I want to talk to you in this episode today. Is I want to talk to you guys about the three things, the triad that I think is part of the three ingredients that are part of the wealth code that the top 1% of real estate investors, really embody. And that's why they're able to capitalize on opportunities. They're able to turn, setbacks into setups, into stepping stones that really allow them to continue to expand, grow their businesses from maybe one or two deals, here and there, to actually maybe having a system, a legitimate business where they have, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 deals closing every single month. And sometimes, even more than that. You've heard from countless, students of ours, people that have been in our 1-year long incubator, our 1-year coaching program, like Tim Ebier, who he talked about how by following what the 1% that have cracked the wealth code in the land investing space have turned him into an inevitable millionaire. And he's on track to basically in this year, in the first 5 months of this year, he's already made what he did in the entire first year of land flipping. And he's on track basically for $1.4 million in his land business, So that's what I'm talking about when I say cracking the wealth code. It's really looking at three things. And the very first thing is having the conviction and the belief that, number one, you're worthy, that your family deserves a reset, and that you have found that sometimes the universe, works in these special ways that when you are looking for something, that something is also looking for you and it finds you. And maybe that it's no accident that you have been, inside of, our Land Profit Masters community right now doing the masterclass, and that you have found this one thing, that can really turn the corner for you and your family. And that conviction that your past does not define your future is one of, I think, the number one ingredients of those people, of the top 1% that have cracked this wealth code. And so conviction is so important. Conviction is just another name for your beliefs. Yeah. Do you believe that you are the creator of your destiny, or do you think that you are just a puppet here that coasts through life, that life beats up, and that has absolutely no power, that basically you have no power to have money come to you, Are you of that conviction, or are you of the conviction that you can go from zero to hero if you put in the work, if you have the right strategy, if you have the right vehicle, if you have the right support? Yeah. And so that's ingredient number one. Ingredient number two, in terms of cracking this wealth code that we've been talking about, during our masterclass, and really gain an incredible level of mastery so that, you not just start creating incredible amounts of cash injections, in your life and really growing your income, especially at a time when we're experiencing inflation, where it's so important that you find something to do that really outpaces where your money and the effort that you're already putting and the limited time that we already have in our busy lives, where you're investing your time is giving you the highest possible maximum return, for what you're putting in, for the effort and time that you're putting in. So it's important. The convictions are important. And then the intentionality of deciding that our past and that our past experiences and that our past relationships, if we have invested in the past and it has not translated, to results, to know that was in the past and that doesn't define our future. Yeah. Sometimes we are scared of making courageous, brave choices that will catapult us to the next level because of something recently that we experienced, with, in our life, with people, with other coaching programs, with other, in our jobs, with our bosses, with our family, in our health. The last 2 years of a pandemic, it's safe to say that all of us have had to, struggle with one thing or the other. Yeah. But that the people that are exhibit, the 1% and that have cracked that wealth code of the 1%, that those people do not really take decisions from that place of looking at the past, and they let go of their old money stories and their old programming. They're willing to let go of that and rewrite and reset. And that's, I think, that optimism, that fire, that fuel is what gives them the, I would say, the momentum to go ahead and leap forward and move forward in faith and make decisions, even if they're scared. So important to remember that sometimes, we may be making decisions because of something that may have just happened in our recent past, instead of making decisions for the future person that we want to become. And whenever we make decisions based on our past, we're holding on to old money stories. And when we're making decisions with intention towards a better future, a bigger and better future, we're making decisions basically for a future, a bigger, better version of ourselves, for that 2.0 version of ourselves. So important, the intentionality. Intentionality is about today, it's about the future. And your past and what happened recently, are things that we need to basically discard because they don't necessarily help us really have a lighter journey, feel light in that future that we're about to start, and we're about to begin that new journey that, that we're about to reset for ourselves and for our families. So the third ingredient that I wanted to talk about is that, yes, it's important to have that mindset. Yeah, it's important to have that mindset of the top 1%, but it's also very, very important to have the strategies. And in order to really capitalize on strategies, you need to take action, but you need to be able to take the right actions. You need to do the right things at the right time for the right reasons. And if you have not been able to break through in the past in real estate, or have not been able to scale your business, or have completely floundered in your house flipping endeavors, and so on and so forth, or if you've continued to, complain about your corporate job and not really venture out, I'm going to say that more than likely it's because you haven't had the right vehicle, the right strategy, something that was simple, that was easily scalable, that where you could see basically the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what, we are here all about. This is what, Land Profit coaching and our master's coaching community is all about, is about helping you guys really take, the strategies that we've been sharing with you this week and actually apply them in the right sequence at the right time for the right reasons. Yeah. When one of those three things, you're taking action, but you're taking the wrong actions, no success. You're taking the wrong actions at the wrong times, no success. You're taking, the actions, but you're taking them for the wrong reasons, no success. That's what happens when action is in a vacuum and it's not happening with intentionality, with somebody that has already done the mistakes that you're about to make, so that they can navigate you and help you really circumvent those mistakes and those landmines. Yeah. So important to have conviction, again, tied with intentionality towards a bigger and better future, tied with actions, and that those actions are happening, that they're the right actions at the right time for the right reasons. That is, I think, what really begins that journey of mastery, of turning you from becoming, somebody with zero in terms of net worth. Maybe you're a person that right now has a good income, but has nothing in terms of assets, like we were discussing in session 1, where land flipping as your cash machine gives you the opportunity to eventually start investing in other asset classes, maybe single family homes that you hold for a longer period of time that can give you passive income. Or perhaps you start selling properties, land, instead of for quick cash, you start selling them with 5, 10, and 15-year notes so that you can start creating passive income from the land. Yeah. So important to keep in mind those 3 things. And in addition to that, something that the top 1%, I think, of investors, of really any of those people that are incredibly wealthy. And when I mean wealthy, I don't mean just wealthy in terms of money, but I mean wealthy in terms of health, in terms of fulfillment, in terms of their ability to put their family first, to value family, to spend time with their family, to create relationships, deep, meaningful relations that walk with purpose, that do things that bring them meaning, to their life. Another thing that they usually, exhibit or have in common is the fact that they are really, really, really good at removing toxic people from their life. So removing and bringing those people out, and removing, circumstances and situations that are toxic out of their sphere of influence, and really bringing in rocket fuel in the form of, a new circle of peers, a new community, new strategies, new ventures, new projects, new choices. There's something very special about, something that is beginning anew. And in order to bring new things, sometimes we need to, in order to bring addition into our life, sometimes we need to first subtract from our life. And so really those people that have cracked that top 1% of the wealth code have been able to do that, do that very successfully. And toxic, I don't mean just people, but even like their mental diet, what they spend their time in. Do they spend their time 14 hours on social media, or do they spend their time, reading books, socializing with other people that are playing, the game at even a higher level, so that when they need a relationship, so that when they need something in their business, those relationships have been already established, and with a quick and simple text, because you have already nurtured that relationship, you're able to solve problems that, would otherwise take you months to resolve in an instant, because you have the resource, you have the person. Yeah. And so if you're looking for a community that exhibits this, that has cracked this wealth code, and that is the top 1%, and that exhibits all of these characteristics that are of those that have really embodied mastery, because that's the 4th stage of growth, is really embodying mastery, then I want to invite you to, if you have not yet booked your call, to join us, to go ahead and go to landcoaching.com to get in contact with your land expert, to get in contact with our team, and really decide, because we're in the last 24 hours. This is going away. We are looking to increase even our prices in the future, and we continue to improve and make our coaching program better. We always are striving to really be at the cutting edge, innovating for you guys, and translating and bringing those results of our own testing, that we're doing in our own land flipping businesses, so that you don't have to make those tests on your own, bringing the results of those and bringing you the best back here to the Land Profit Masters community. So guys, we're in the last 24 hours. You're going to give people the two individuals the exact same opportunity, and one person is going to take action and the other one is not. And I think a lot of the reasons why the people that do not take action is because they live in the past. They live in their old money stories. They have convictions and beliefs that are really not of those of the top 1%. They have convictions that keep them stuck in the past versus convictions that help them move towards a bigger and better future. They have also incredible amounts of intentionality. Where do they spend their time? What do they feed their mind with? Who do they surround themselves with? What kinds of things and activities do they engage with their families? What kind of things do they do to keep their health, in optimal level? Because what's the point of creating money and having a cash machine and a cash engine, that's spitting cash when you're sick and tired and you are not able to enjoy that, that wealth. So when I'm talking wealth, I'm really talking wealth in a much more holistic, perspective. So that's another thing, that top 1% really exhibit. And then they understand that they need to take action, but that those actions need to be at the right time for the right reasons, so that they're not doing busy movement, so that they can really eventually, delegate a lot of the activities that they do right now, in the beginning of their investing business. That they can delegate those so that they don't have to be stuck in that startup or build up phase, but they can eventually move into mastery and can really be looking for other opportunities that they can capitalize to increase their net worth, to increase, the value of their assets, to double their assets, to protect their assets, to really 10x their returns in whatever it is that they decide to embark on, in future investments. So guys, that's pretty much what I wanted, to talk about today, and to remember that wealth code that the 1%, of land flippers that we have assembled here inside of the Land Profit Masters community is definitely that ability to recognize that money is not something that happens to others. It's something that you can create, that you can bring into your life, and that really doesn't, that has something incredibly positive associated with it, because the charge that they have given the activity or the actions of money making are being supported by incredible whys, by incredible heart, matters of the heart, by their real incredible motivation to maybe retire a spouse, maybe give their children a better future, maybe give their children a better school, maybe pay for healthcare for a family member. And that when you basically engage in money-making activities, with this intentionality, with this why that is deep to your heart, that there's an incredible sense of fulfillment that comes from it, that you are not just making money for the sake of making money, but that you're making money while feeling, fulfilled, while feeling that there's meaning to the things that you're doing, and that's really, in my mind, the equivalent of living a real happy life, a life where, yes, finances are important, but those finances have an incredible direct correlation to the quality of life that you're feeling, and that you're feeling happy and content and full and complete, and not just in despair and living out of fear, and where that you feel resourceful, that that God will always provide. It's an incredible different state and different vibe in which you live in when you don't have money problems and money issues occupying your mental and emotional space and dragging you down. It's a completely different ballgame, and so I know that inside of our Land Profit Masters community, we have cracked the code on that way of living, on that new way of living, that new life. And I would love so very much for you to be a part of it. So go to landcoaching.com, www.landcoaching.com. Talk to one of our land experts. Like I said, we're in the last 24 hours. The bonuses are still in effect. You can still get the bonuses. With that, thank you so much for tuning in. And I think we have a special guest actually in our next episode. So stay tuned for that. I am looking forward to being with you guys and coming into your lives and into your space. Thank you for letting me in, every single week with one of these episodes. Until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.